It's Merc 80. It's me, this guy. You already know me. And I'm sitting here with Miss Jack Davey in the house.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I think I speak for everybody when I ask, who do I have to lay my hands on to get the J Davey album in my possession? You know?
The album has been such a process. So what you came and heard when was that?
That was like December last year.
Okay, so what you heard in December has changed again.
Really?
I mean, the album has gone through this is like the 5th or 6th phase of this record. While we've been working on this project, like you said, the industry has changed so much that I'm realizing, or we're starting to realize, that it's not really about, pouring your heart out on this masterpiece of a record and, having your label market and promote it and, blast everybody on Twitter and Facebook and MySpace, and then you put it out and then you sell all these units and then it's great and, you get to do it again a second time around. I mean, nowadays, this year especially, most of the major artists, their albums flopped. And, the new artists, that were banking on their labels to, really give them that push into the stratosphere. I mean, it didn't really work like that. I think the biggest winners that we've seen in the past couple of years have been people who have put their music out for free and kind of built, this amazing thing online.
Do you think that we're in a pretty big change of like a new format of how people are going to have to think about music? And
yeah, people are going to have to change their mentalities. Everybody right now is involved in the business when they should just be listeners and supporters. The internet has turned everybody into a music critic, and music journalism has plummeted because everybody right now has an opinion, and it's like, can you just connect with what you're hearing and either enjoy it or not and move on? But I think we have sat around and we have talked so hard, so long about what's wrong with it and what needs to change and how it needs to change or what's changing, that we're all so confused. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me, I'm just like, make the music and enjoy it.
Yeah.
It is to be enjoyed. Just enjoy it. Why not? It's such a positive thing, and when people are so negative about it, it's annoying.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. Well, let's get into the heart of this all. What is your story? What is Miss Jack's story? How did you get into music or fall in love with it? What's your background?
I come from a musical family, not, instrument players and singers per se. My mother has a really beautiful singing voice, and, everybody in my family carries a tune and plays little instruments here and there, but really what my family played best was the box, as they call it.
Yeah.
Stereo. And my grandfather had what seemed like a million pieces of stereo equipment and an impressive jazz collection. But then, the 80s, the MTV era, turned me on to, Prince and Billy Idol was my favorite, Van Halen, and so all these different types of music were just kind of floating around. And I was the only child, and I would always keep myself occupied, watching concert videotapes, and also I was really into movies. So I knew from a young age that I wanted to do something artistic. I thought I wanted to be a writer, write, books. I moved to California when I was 8.
From where?
From St. Louis.
Okay.
St. Louis. And when we moved to LA, my mom wanted, she wanted me to take dance classes just to meet other kids my age, and that kind of really opened my mind up. And from then, from being a dancer, I auditioned for a girls singing group. And I didn't even want to be a singer. I was kind of shy, so I liked performing, but I didn't want to be out there. I was like, I'm cool in the group, and I don't want to be out there singing and dancing. And I get in this girls group, and I was out there, performing, lead singing and rapping, and we were signed to MCA. We were young. We were like the girls' answer to ABC.
Yeah. Can we know the name just in case somebody wants to find it to get the?
You definitely will never find it.
Really?
I will give somebody money. I will pay you if you can find. I want to see what you can dig up on this. I'm interested to see what somebody can dig up. But it was called a DEF, Doing Everything Funky.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
The 90s.
Did you guys have the big extra baggy pants?
Cross colors to
Yes.
the fucking max.
Yes.
I was in the group from the time I was 8 until I was about 14. So we worked with all kinds of producers. We worked with track masters and the boys, and
Yes.
learned how to write songs. We had a writer who I worked really closely with, and he taught me how to write raps. And so I stuck to rapping mostly, and once the group dissolved, I still was kind of trying to make the music, but I couldn't really find a sound that I liked. I couldn't really get into a groove. I went off to college, and was like, okay, I wanted somewhere along the way I wanted to make movies. So I went to film school and studied film, and I also studied literature, and I was like, yeah, I want to make movies, I want to write, and I want to produce, and I want to shoot, and I took cinematography and all this stuff and graduated, and in the meantime had met Brooke and been working with Brooke, and graduated from college thinking I was going to come back here and work in film and television, and Jack Davey just kind of took over my life. It was like went from a point of like Brooke and I just kind of fucking around to like starting a MySpace page, and then
going from there.
Yeah, so
damn, that's awesome.
That's my boring story.
Yeah, right.